Hello, everyone. Welcome to another installment of Erin's Book Club. I have a book review to do today, and it's one of my birthday books that I bought, and I used my magnetic birthday bookmark on it. So, anyway, the book review I have to do today is Hatchet by Gary Paulsen. Um, there's the cover. Not impressed with the cover, but what can you do? Because this was a book that I found on Amazon, and I bought it solely on the recommendation of my supervisor at work. He recommended Flowers for Agrenon, I think is how you say it, and that book blew me out of the water. It was one of my, it was close to a 5-star book. This one, maybe because I came into it with such high expectations with the other book, this one was aggressively mediocre. The story was really an interesting story. It's about, again, spoilers if you haven't read it, read it, come back. But it's about a boy, I think a 13-year-old boy, who gets into a plane crash and needs to survive in the north, the Canadian north, for about 55 days. Now, the problem, the story is good, but the problem I have is it's almost as though the author doesn't trust the reader enough to understand the moral of the story or the point of the story, and as such, it's the words, the important phrases and important words are repeated again and again and again. Like the author feels they need to hand feed us what the information is. And I don't jive with that writing style. And again, there were a few things that just didn't make sense for me. So part of the beginning of the book is they're in a Cessna, going to go visit his dad. And the pilot gives him one 30-second lesson on this is how you fly a Cessna, and then when the pilot has a heart attack, he can crash the plane safely enough that he survives. I know you kind of need that for their storyline, but it seemed rough, and the writing didn't seem to flow. It was more like, see, this point is very important. Make sure you understand this point. We need to go through this point again, and we need to say it again and again and again so that you understand this point. And then throughout the entire book, there's this secret about why their parents divorced and that kind of thing, and how he was going to get stronger through this experience, and he wanted to tell his father that he saw his mother with another man, and that was the big secret. But even though he goes through this big experience, he doesn't end up telling his father the secret, and it kind of draws back on all the strength that he has earned from living in the wild, because the author doesn't say, well, he didn't go ahead and tell him the secret because he's understood within himself that now that the divorce has happened, all you would end up be doing is hurting your father. It's not an important secret to have. Instead, it's just, no, he didn't tell him the secret because he couldn't bring himself to do it. Like it was a bravery thing. It just didn't seem to make sense. And it was an interesting dynamic of that storyline that just kind of fell flat on its face, in my opinion. Other than that, though, it was a well-written book. It was a book that I read almost in one sitting, so it only took me a day to read, and it was a nice story, but it wasn't a great story. So any of you guys who like your survival stories, and maybe I should bring that to my attention too, this is not designed for a reader of my age, it's designed for a younger reader, so that may be why the author wrote the way he did. But if any of you guys have young'uns that like survival stories, or if you do like survival stories, Hatchet is a pretty good book. And I will let you know when I have another book read. Thanks, guys.